wow, Brian gets on a roll. It's like, wow. I think he recruited 10 people a month for 10 years because he just does in a day what most of us need a week for. Pope John the 23rd once said, consult not your fears, but rather your hopes and dreams. Think not about your frustrations, but rather about your unfulfilled potential. And consider not those things that you have failed in, but rather what it is still possible to do. Those slight adjustments can make all the difference. Now, I will tell you, your next mentor is a powerhouse and just comes on like a steaming locomotive. An extraordinary background. He's 45 years old with a 22-year career in network marketing. Next year, it will have been half of his life. He started when he was 23. And his story is amazing. But remember, the question is, when did the preparation begin? 23, he begins network marketing. He became a six-figure status earner in 6 months. In his second year, was a seven-figure earner. He reached the top leadership rank in his company in 20 months. He has gotten to a point now where he's literally been able to build a business that's grown into 20 countries. He was the #1 income earner in his company, and he has this huge gleeful smile when he says, what's most exciting is one of my team members that I coached and mentored so aggressively has now passed me and is the #1 income earner. So where did it all start, though? He began his work career at the age of 12 in his family business, a carpet installation business. Didn't go to college, wasn't a college-educated kid. He just worked harder than anybody else. By 14, he told me he bought his first car. I don't know if he ever drove it. We probably shouldn't talk about that. However, by 17 in high school, when his other friends are just, have a job at McDonald's, he was running carpet installation crews at night, leading them. By 19, he bought his first Corvette, and 21, he bought his first home. So at 23, when he began his network marketing career, he understood how to outwork everybody if you were focused and persistent. He's an extraordinary individual. Get ready to be literally run over with energy and passion. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the GoPro stage, Mr. Jeremy Stansfield.
Monday night, earlier this week, about 8:30 p.m., I'm driving my travel coach, just left Glamis Sand Dunes a few days before and swinging through Southern California, dropped off my equipment there. It's about 120 miles from reaching Las Vegas, because I'm heading up for these events, right? And all of a sudden, I'm just cruising along, excited to be in Vegas soon, got a big smile on my face, and all of a sudden, boom! Like, what the heck? What's going on? And I'm like, grab my steering wheel as fast as I can and try to bring it back, and I am cutting to the right fast. Lucky there's no cars on the right, but there is a curb, and there's a downhill embankment, and it's pretty dark outside, and there's not a lot of cars on the road, but as it pops up and over the curb, I'm trying to hold it straight. As the coach starts to reach about a 45-degree angle as I start going down the embankment. You have a near-death experience. Your brain starts computing a lot of thoughts and a lot of things really quick. But it's almost like somebody puts a pause button and says, think. And the few things that I can tell you that I still remember that were most important right out of the gate was, I'm so fortunate that there's nobody else in the coach with me on this ride. Because most of the time I'd have family, loved ones, nieces, nephews. I was alone. If it's going to happen, now's the time. Second thing I thought about was, well, my living trust is in order, thank heavens. Everybody I really care about's taken care of. Third thing was my life insurance policy is intact, good there. Next came up was, I feel like I've lived a pretty amazing life. I feel like I've tried to make an impact and make a difference, and in my own way, felt pretty good about everything. Well, as we continue to go down, or I continue to go down that path, almost rolling, and eventually it flattens out, pop through a couple of trees, over some bushes, and it's up and down like crazy. And there's dust, everything flying everywhere. Stuff's coming out of the cabinets like crazy. I thought, well, this is probably it. I finally stopped, though. As I stopped, sitting there with my seatbelt on, and all the dust is settling, turned off the motor, took a deep breath, and boy, was I filled with gratitude and felt very fortunate. Next thing that came into my mind, this is again Monday night, about 8:30 at night, was this could put a little bit of a damper on me making it to the six-figure summit for GoPro, right? I got to figure out how to get my coach now out of this huge trough and all the way back up to the road so that all my clothes and my computers and my mobile office and all that, I want to have it with me in Vegas, and I'm not leaving it here. So I'm thinking, time to get to work. So I start calling towing company crews. We brought in a recovery company. We had a full-on construction site going on to be able to get that coach out of there, bulldozers and everything, to be able to get it up to the road. And a few times through the night, this is Monday night, about 4 a.m., about 6 of the workers came up, hands in their pockets, and said, we're exhausted, we're done. And we don't think your coach is going to be able to be towed anyways because all of your airbags are probably punctured and not going to run anyways. I said, well, has anybody looked at the airbags yet? I'm like, no. I'm like, can I borrow your flashlight? Went and jumped underneath the coach, inspected all 8 of them myself. Jumped up after that and says, guess what? I got good news, guys. All 8 airbags, they look great to me. They look like they're holding air. I think we can do this. Let's do this. I'll be right here by your side. Let's get this thing up to the road. Got it up to the road, got it all hooked up finally. And the driver that was going to tow the thing up to Vegas says, I've put in too many hours for the day. I'm sorry, I can't drive anymore. Legally, it can't happen. I'm like, there has to be another option. Well, I can take it back to our shop just a little bit down south of where we're at. It's going to go back further into California. I'm like, why would we do that? We don't go backwards. We go forward. We're not going to take it backwards. No way, we're going to Vegas. This is the direction we're going. And I'm going to sit here, and we're going to figure out some solutions, and we're going to figure out how we're going to be able to do this. So I had him sit there for about 15 minutes, and I thought of solutions too. I says, I can drive. He says, no, you can't. You don't have a CDL. And I'm like, oh, just don't tell nobody. I'll drive it. No. He's like, no. So he found a relief driver to come and drive it. By the time I got into Vegas on Tuesday morning, the sun was out and all that, but I had still a lot of work to do, getting that thing back in order to get it where I needed to have it seen at different mechanic shops, having tires put on it. Well, long story short, I ended up getting here. I was a little bit late on Tuesday for the six-figure summit, but not much. But I'm really happy that I made it. Is anybody else really happy they made it to GoPro this week? And I'm really happy that I'm here to stand on stage and be able to say a few words about my story and background that will hopefully inspire and make a difference in terms of where you're going and your direction and your energy that you're putting into your business. So when Curtis called me the other day, I love Curtis Broom. You guys like this guy or what? Love it. We're so fortunate to have him up here. So Curtis starts picking my brain on the intro and how he's going to introduce me. And I'm like going through all these facts and figures about my business and what I've been able to do like worldwide and in dollars and liters and da-da-da. And he's like, well, you grew so fast. Something else happened before even getting to this point. I'm like, well, I didn't bring over another downline from another company. I don't have experience in this industry that's successful. And again, I don't have a college degree, no sales experience. He's like, well, there's something else. What did you do for work before? What did you learn? I started getting into it. Like, well, do you want me to talk about that? I can. Okay, well, here it is, guys. I was absolutely trained by my father at a very young age to be a real hard worker. Why? Because I duplicated what he did. He was always working, very serious about it. I learned how to be able to save my own money, start working really hard. Started to learn how to have people work for me at a young age too, so I could take a part of the sales positions of the company or the carpet installation company in school districts and business buildings and have my friends even work for me, paid them a lot less than what I was getting paid. I started to learn about leverage. Didn't take very long before I started acquiring more and more cars, boats. Was able to buy a home that was way bigger and way nicer than even my parents' home, even when they told me I wouldn't be able to do it. When they said I wouldn't be able to graduate high school if I moved out at 17. So what did that make me do? Do you think I graduated? I was told I couldn't do it. Do you think that inspired me to go do it or not do it? Am I going to run away when someone says, you can't do this? Not only did I graduate with honors on my own, moved out, but I also am very proud of one of my last 2 years, a complete 4.0 grade point average, not even an A-. And I am not academically smart, even though I lettered in even academics, but at West Jordan High. But I'll tell you that wasn't my passion. That was just something that I wanted to go out there and do. I wanted to get it done and move forward. But by 23, I was pretty burned out. Yeah, I'd been earning a six-figure income for a long time. had a lot of really cool things, but I didn't have time freedom. 70, 80 hours a week to work didn't make sense for me moving forward, to have a family, have children. First round of network marketing comes around me. I get in. I think it's pretty cool. I think the concept's great. I do a little bit with it. About a month or two later, I get a pinched nerve in my shoulder installing carpet. Guess what? It's bad. Severe pinched nerve. My left arm is shrunk to half the size of my right arm. It's bad news. I can't be with the crews anymore. I'm dealing with a serious amount of pain. If I can't be out there with my crews working, I can't expect them to. I couldn't go to my dad and say, hey, just let the company float me for a while. I couldn't do that. I needed to find a new way. Opening my mind, researching, trying to think through. I didn't want to lose what I'd built at that point. Well, round 2 company comes into my life. Top incrementer of the company, which I'm still with today. He was very persistent. I learned a very valuable lesson right out of the gate because he would not stop calling me. He called me every day for 30 days straight, even sometimes multiple times a day. Why did I go and look at his opportunity? Why? Does anybody know? I wanted him to stop calling me, right? I didn't think that network marketing was really my future, but I really did want him to stop calling me. But he had such great energy, and he wouldn't stop. He was just being persistent in a nice way. He was funny and everything else, but I didn't really think network marketing was for me. The first company had actually gone out of business, so I didn't even really care that much about it. When I analyzed it and thought about the benefits and what it could really do, and a lot of other people are doing it around the world, and I did my homework and my studying it, and I decided, you know what, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. And if I don't even achieve what everybody else achieves, that's okay. I'm going to do it, and I'm going to apply my work ethic, and I'm going to learn, and I'm going to grow. And I started, hit the ground running. I didn't go out there to set records. I went out there as survival mode. I eliminated all other income streams in my life, and I solely focused on this company. The only thing that was going to pay my bills, put food on my table, and let me survive was my network marketing company income. That's it. People wonder, well, geez, what did that do? Like, how did you feel? Like, it was tough. Imagine if everybody in the room eliminated all your other income streams, no matter where they're coming from investments, from jobs, or anything else, and the only thing you have is one income stream from now forward that is just a percentage of sales, of business, of what you're doing in your current network marketing company and the future through that one stream. That's it. That's all you got. In fact, all of your savings, investments, real estate, we all just throw in a kitty and we give it back to help out those less fortunate around the world right now. Can you imagine if we walked out of here this size of group knowing that our whole future, our family, the food that has to be put on our table, our mortgages, everything, our children's future, our grandchildren's college funds, all that is on the line if we don't go out there and can incredibly produce to make sure that we're hugely successful. Woo! Man, we would make an impact on the world, would we not? Oh my gosh, we'd be unstoppable, would we not? Everybody's like, do I clap or not? Because I don't know if I'm really ready to do that, to give up everything. So don't do that, by the way, because if you do that, I don't think that Eric will ask me to come back and speak on stage again. So maybe not everybody will really follow through, right? So, but for me, it was real. And I had a lot of challenges. Yes, I broke records in the company. Yes, I survived full-time income right out of the gate, but that doesn't mean that it's done. You got to keep building for a long time until you have strong leaders below you before you can ever even stop for getting a breath of fresh air, right? I wasn't very good at prospecting. People that know me and my story, I sucked at it. I stuttered horribly. I was not the greatest. But I had that one person that when you first get started, that you're going to go talk to them and they're going to get on board with you, right? And you're going to go and change the world together. And that person, well, he is my best friend. And we love going water skiing and we love going out to the sand dunes and we just gelled. And he was earning a 6-figure income in his early 20s too. I thought, he'll be perfect. I was so excited to call him up as soon as I made that decision to get going. And what happened? He wasn't excited as I was. He wanted to tear down my opportunity, give me negativity, and talk me out of my opportunity. That was a tough one. was like, knives coming in. No, my number one. That was going to be a big part of my business. No. You're not going to show that, but inside you're just like, oh, man, that would hurt so bad. Oh, dang. We all have that, right? Everybody have that one person sometimes like that. So this one was a tough one. This was a 6-month project on this one. I had to keep dripping information. And eventually, he called me. We all love that one, right? All right, tell me more about what you're doing. I love it when that happens. Guess what? Do you think that by him telling me this wouldn't work, do you think that that motivated me to go out there and work my business stronger without him? Or did it make me walk away? Do you want to ask him? He's sitting right here. Mr. Brian Douglas, international leader, business speaker, fired his boss within a year part-time with our opportunity once he made the decision to get on board. He's changed a lot of people's lives. He's lived an amazing life and will continue to influence people around the world. So think about it. When you get resistance, when you have those obstacles, are you running away from it? Or are you tackling it head on? Because obstacles and challenges, they're not going to go away. Don't think just because you end up becoming a top earner in your company or a 7-figure earner that life is just easy, a box of chocolate. Money can just make you more of what you already are. Any challenges or problems you already have will just make them bigger. Doesn't always solve them. Earn more, you can spend more. But I'll tell you what, it can definitely bring a lot of other amazing things to your life when you learn how to do it right. And you learn how to overcome obstacles and be strong, overcome and learn how to react the right way to these challenges, the right way to rejection, the right way to people telling you can't do stuff. You can. See, I didn't have anybody around me that believed in me. The only one that believed in me in the early days was my upline, the people in my business, right? Up above me. It's all that believed in me because everybody else I knew didn't believe. And sometimes you just need someone to believe in you, right? Eventually, my upline wasn't there. Calvin Becerro talking about it yesterday, I think we were talking about at 26, how his sponsor that he had, mentored him so much, went and attacked his business, gave him the threat. You either come with me or I'm moving on. That happened to me too. Man, I could feel his pain when he said that. That's not easy things to deal with. We all have obstacles. We all have these challenges, these massive, huge obstacles to overcome. And if you haven't yet, you're going to get some. That's how you're going to react to them. I loved his attitude. It's like, you don't know me? You don't know who I am? You try to come after my team. You try to say what you're going to do. It'll just make me come back even stronger, better. What breaks me down will just make me stronger and stronger and stronger in the future. Give me your best shot right now. Right? So there's a lot of rewards and benefits to doing this business, right? Otherwise, we wouldn't be doing it if we can't be stronger, better, live life happier, influence people, be influenced by the people that we want to influence, and choose the right people that we can influence. But of course, there's rewards. You hear about them. The residual income, the time freedom is absolutely priceless. I love it. I love living my life with no boss. I have not had a boss in 22 years, really, sometimes even before that, but I love freedom. I love to travel. It's always been on my dream boards. Ever since I was a kid, I had posters around my room. Love to travel. Been traveling for 15 years. Shoot, in the last 3 months, I've been in 7 countries. Had the time of my life. I worked in a few of them, sure. Stay in nice accommodations, rent nice homes, really nice food, really nice chefs. It's great. It's an amazing life. Get able to do things that I've always wanted to do, like going to Queenstown and jumping out of, these crazy bungee jumping towers, 450-foot drops, and jumping out of airplanes that are 15,000 feet in the air and having a one-minute free fall. That's me. I kind of like that stuff. Air G Air, that's where I get that name. Love hydrofoiling, love flyboarding. I love anything that defies gravity. That's great. I love all that stuff, and definitely this business helps me do a lot more of that. But while I was traveling out there, even just the last 3 months, was the thing that mattered the most to me wasn't that. It wasn't jumping out of that plane or jumping off that bungee jump tower. It was being welcomed with open arms, seeing the leaders that I've developed friendships with all these years, and seeing where their life is today as a result of what we've done together in bonding and those relationships. And when they're excited to pick you up from the airport, and this will be you, think about this. This will be you. You keep building, you keep your head down, you keep focused, you keep building leaders. This will happen. They pick you up from the airport in their Benz, in their cool cars. They are excited to go show you their next house purchase or their whatever they're doing. My last leaders that came out of, when I was over talking in New Zealand, that picked me up from the airport, went over and showed me an $8 million estate they just bought. And that was New Zealand dollars, over $5 million US. And they're keeping their past home. And they say, you know what, Jeremy, that's for you to come and use whenever you want. We're not selling it. It's there for you. Come back to New Zealand anytime you want. It's your home. It's open arms. You come in and they make food for you, and you're the privileged honor of, the guest speaker for anything they put together. And you love it. That energy, that connection, loyalty, friendship, changing lives around the world. I love that. Now that's what this business is all about. So, I think it was Brandon Hughes said yesterday, you get a poster board and you either have you don't have a Ford Pinto up on the wall on a poster board, but you probably have Lamborghinis if you're young and like I was, and probably like he was too. You know what? I don't have Ford Pintos that are probably parked outside that I drove here in, but I drove here in a Lambo, didn't I? Some of you already know that. But if you know me, it's not about that. In fact, I keep my keys in most of my cars anyways. This is a spare car that stays around here in Vegas anyway. If you think that you want it more than me, then take it. Like, if you think that you deserve it, go for it. I share everything that I have. That's stuff I don't really care about. I mean, it's there and it's fun and it was a great goal. But the things I'll really tell you that inspire me and grab my heart is to know that I did something to build a business that allowed me to be there when my mom was having the roughest time of her life. In the last 2 years, when she passed away at only 49 years of age, being able to bring her in and spend unconditional love with her and spend that time with her, take care of things financially, but more importantly, to be there because she had nobody else to be there for her. That I'll never forget, that feeling. Having a grandma that you love so much and you've done so much for you in your life, and in her later years when she turns into her 80s, all she dreams about is a red sports car. So voila, I get the great idea to put this gift at Christmas for her to walk out the door, big red blow on a dream red sports car for her. It made the rest of her life. She's not with us anymore, but she loved that thing every single day. That feeling that I got, and she was always talking about it, was amazing. Whether it's cars giving out to family members for their 16th birthday or something, or whether it's giving away a car after you've just earned it on stage, maybe to somebody else in the audience because they probably need one worse than you. Those feelings. But I'll tell you, the biggest one is when my daughter, Natasha, at 12 years old, brought her up on stage in front of 12,000 people, had her sister by her side. Her sister was a little more shy. But I says, Tosh, talk whatever you like to talk about. We didn't do any pre-planning whatsoever. She grabbed the mic after I gave it to her, and she had confidence at 12 years old to 12,000 people. And you know the story that she chose to talk about? She talked about how she had been working hard this last year for me doing miscellaneous stuff, but she had gone without pop and candy for a year. And the money that she had put together, she gave a portion of that back to the Children's Hunger Fund. And she was inspiring everybody there that no matter where you are in life, no matter how much you earn, no matter what age you are, to have heart and to give back to those less fortunate. I learned how to work really hard for my father, but I learned how to have an incredible big heart for my mom, my hero in life. In closing, John Addison said it great the other night. He says, you're not on dress rehearsal for your life. This is your life. Make it count.